Okay, welcome to the CB3 SLA committee meeting on August 20th of 2025. We're going to go ahead and get started with the meeting. I'm first going to start with a few ground rules. It seems like there are a lot of people online this evening. We do have a few people here in person, but when your item is up, I will give a summary of the application. We will then give the applicant a chance to speak and add anything or just make any comment they want that I may have missed. We'll then move to members of the public if there are any, and then we'll move back for some final discussion with the applicant, move to a committee vote. If you would like to speak to an item, we will give you 2 minutes, and we will call on people in the room first for an item, then we will move to anyone on Zoom. We just ask that you be respectful of everyone. There's, no name calling, no disrespect, just be respectful, and hopefully we can all get through this rather quickly. So I'm going to start the meeting with a roll call vote. Stephen Ballinger, absent. Joy is absent. Michael Lavario. Clint Smeltzer, present. Guillermo Zaviglia. Okay. So, we are going to go, first I'm going to go through a few items that have withdrawn this evening. We had quite a few of them that did withdraw. So number 2, Cafe Mod at 132 2nd Avenue withdrew. Number 4, OT at 40 Clinton Street withdrew. Number 6, Danny and Coops, 151 Avenue A withdrew. Number 8, Anna Peril at 211 First Avenue withdrew. Number 10, the Cupbearer at 302 Broome Street withdrew. And number 12, the Village Blue Hospitality at 536 East 5th withdrew. What is that? Oh, yes. So just here at the beginning of the meeting, Susan is going to speak just a little bit about, there's been some changes with the NYPD, and they have now a new program called the Q Team. I'm going to hand this over to Susan and let her explain a little bit about what the Q Team is.
Thank you. I just want to make everyone aware, both businesses and residents, of changes. Q Team is a quality of life team. There is no more NCOs, neighborhood coordinating officers. They have been incorporated into the Q Teams, which are larger, and residents can have both emails and cell phone numbers for these. So they, you can call 311, you can use an app, and you should be aware that when you're calling to complain, and this has always been true, if you're calling to complain about a location, or your neighbors are, if there are 5 complaints about that location within 28 days, it jumps out into a special queue as a chronic problem. So everyone, business and residents, should be aware of that. The Q Team can respond in real time, which we have not had for years since we had cabaret units. Community Board 3 has the second highest number of commercial noise complaints, which are basically nightlife complaints, of the 59 boards in the city. And the Q Team may be a way to address these issues. You can meet your Q Team officers at precinct council meetings or connect through your community affairs officer. Please still keep the community board in the loop for unresolved problems, because they're very important for us to know when we're looking at new applications, as well as trying to help you. And the big difference now is there is a CompStat type report. In the past, these 311 complaints have never been monitored and had to be, they've never been monitored. There's now going to be a CompStat type report of these complaints. So they should be much more responsible in having them closed and not repeated. And that's kind of it, unless anyone has any questions.
Susan, we are going to go ahead and get started. We're going to start with, I think for now, we're just going to go in order. We're going to start with number 3, Ishka, which is 202 Avenue A. Are the applicants here online for Ishka 202 Avenue A? Please raise your Zoom hands and we're going to promote you. We assume that's Frank a little bit. Okay, so looks like we have the applicant and their attorney present. Okay, I'm going to give a quick summary of the application. This is Jockas LLC doing business at Ishka is seeking to alter existing key license. They're expanding their operating hours and the premises located at 202 Avenue A between East 12th and 13th Street. It's an application for an establishment of 74 people, 23 tables, 66 seats, including a stand-up bar, full kitchen serving food during law's operation, no television, small speakers playing music, streaming service as a background level. There are 14 full on-premises licenses within 500 feet. This restaurant opened at its current location in August of 2024 with a full on-premises license, closing hours of 11 p.m. all days. Previously, the restaurant was Kobu by Nai, was in this space. That was the first applicant, the first business in this space. It was a brand new space. The applicant has owned and operated Ishka at its current location since opening. They also serve as the general manager of the restaurant Gazab, which is located on Essex Street and East Houston. There are 24 residents who lived within 2 blocks of locations by in favor. They are proposing new hours of opening no later than 11 a.m., closing by 2 a.m. all days. They will not use outdoor space for commercial use, not employ doormen or security. I think it was a new space, so I don't think there's a need to install soundproofing. We'll close front rear windows at 10 p.m. On background recorded music only. No live music, no DJs, promoted events, no scheduled performances. No party buses or pub crawls, no unlimited drink specials, happy hours ending at 7. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to you, the applicant, if you'd like to give us a summary. If there's anything that I missed or anything you'd like to add, please go ahead.
Hi everyone, this is Vinayak. I'm one of the partner. I have my other partners too. So we have in previous liquor license, we have the authority for doing the events, which were, I guess, 24 events a year. Mr. Frank, he will be able to tell you more, but I just got a text from him. He's not able to unmute himself. Can you?
So I think if Frank is on his phone, I think if he's calling in on the phone, I think it is *6. Frank, if you try to press *6, that if you're just on the phone, not on the app, it may unmute you.
I'm just texting him.
Yeah, no, I'm not sure if you can hear either. Is yes. Yeah.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now, Frank.
I didn't realize you can't be on the video and speak. You have to be on just the phone.
If you just if you just dialed in on the phone, it won't bring on the video. It'll just.
No, I was on the video, but you can't unmute while you're in the video. I'm sorry.
Okay. Okay, no problem.
That we can't have name calling now. We're not going to
can't
allow
have
name calling, Clint. That's not name calling. That's not fair.
I sorry, Frank. I was missing the humor there. But
yeah, a lot of people
just make them as long as they're nice names, Frank. That's all.
Anyway, as you correctly stated, everything you said was correct, Clint.
Okay.
This is a Michelin-starred restaurant. I sent the information today. I'm not sure you got it.
Yep,
Um,
I did get that in time and I was able to send that around to the committee, so they should have hopefully had a chance to
Okay.
quickly look at that.
And the truth of the matter is, we're turning away a later turn of business that's trying to have dinner. We can't serve the type of meals that we serve like and close at 12 o'clock. It's just it's been a real struggle the last, once there was a little bit of success, it's a real struggle the last 6 months being able to get by. That's why we're trying to extend our hours.
Okay, and I'm sorry, at the beginning you were saying something about private events.
I don't know if Vinayak was talking about.
No, I was just
I-
saying previously when you mentioned like what we had a previously we are allowed to do the private events, and that was allowed in a previous liquor license. What currently we have, so that we have. I don't know if you have it.
Just see, I did.
Yes, on a last license and community board meeting, we got approved by you guys for the
For you said it was 24 per year.
yes.
Okay, that's fine.
I just
Okay,
bring it up. So
thank you for
You're
clarifying that. Okay, so I think we do have. I know we have one person here in person that would like to speak, and I think we're going to move to him, and then we're going to check to see if there's anyone here online that would like to speak to this item. So, Dale, if you'd like to go ahead and speak, turn that on and hand him any of them. Just yeah.
Good, I'll talk.
Okay.
Look more than a person. Yeah, okay, my name is Dale Goodson, resident of the North Avenue A Neighborhood Association, and I live across the street from this application. When we met with the applicants a few weeks ago, told them we like the restaurant and feel they're a good addition to the neighborhood. However, by expanding their closing time by 4 hours from 10 p.m. until 2 a.m., it would make them a late night club as much as a restaurant in a neighborhood that is already oversaturated with bars, late night crowds, and noise. There are two large thriving restaurants in the same block already as they're located, El Cameo and Azatar, who close at 10 p.m. and 11 p.m. respectively, have been very successful with those hours for many years. The applicant said, unfortunately, they are paying very high rent and need the late hours to afford the space. We wish we'd been able to work out a more manageable lease, but as someone who lives directly across the street, I would ask the committee to deny a 2 a.m. closing.
Yeah. I think that's someone online. We have Laura School. Laura promoted. All right. Muted. Laura, we promoted you. If you would like to go ahead and speak.
Yes, thank you. So as Dale said, we met with the applicants. They've been in the neighborhood for a year. They close very early it's a 10 o'clock close. So when we met recently, they did explain that they need to do another turnover that they can't do with the type of food and the way they operate. But again, a jump to 2 a.m. 7 days a week is it's a huge leap. And considering the work that we've done on this block for the number of years we've done it to keep the late night activity to a minimum, it's a setback for us. Even comings and goings of Ubers at 2 a.m. on a Monday or a Tuesday is problematic. The other thing is, we don't have a super late night business in this neighborhood, which we've discussed. We've had very frank conversations with the applicants, and I hope that that's appreciated. But we really don't have that business. People always say they're going for it, but it pretty much doesn't exist. There just isn't the late night business here early in the week, and most of the late night business later in the week is bar hopping. So we'd be perfectly fine with a midnight close. We're not trying to make it impossible for the folks to operate. We wouldn't even mind a little bit of outdoor space. They don't have a lot of frontage, but if anything that would help, brunch, brunch specials, all of that stuff is fine. We don't think that they will have a disrespectful operation, but the 2 a.m. is just extreme. So that's pretty much what we have to say. Thank you.
Laura? Is there anything you would like to respond to what you just heard?
So basically, we had a meeting with Mr. Dale and Laura, and we discussed what we are dealing with right now. So we are a high-end bar. We are not like a normal small bar where the menu prices are meant to do a bar hopping. We have a drink starting from $20, and later on it's going to go more expensive. So we wanted to give the people experience. Within a period of opening 54 days, we were in Michelin. We were recognized by Michelin. So it's pretty much like we did a lot of hard work. We are like three partners who are, you can say, at the age of 30 years. We have spent our entire savings to make sure that this restaurant survives and to keep the payroll afloat, which is an expensive payroll, which we are paying. We have expensive rents. We haven't done anything a, kind of a parties or kind of a atmosphere we have created in the neighborhood which has disturbed Mr. Dale. You can ask him, he's sitting right there. And we have never I mean, like, even if we have a crowd outside our place, we have tried to disperse the crowd by ourselves, which we have been doing from last 1 year. Usually we don't have a crowd right outside the our restaurant, and whenever we had, we make sure that one of our manager or the operations manager make sure that they disperse the crowd. And the matter of the fact is that why we are expanding it, because most of the clientele we have, they want to come late night because the bar is made, the bar, the way it is made, it's very beautiful, and it's photogenic, and the community people wanted us to open it, and it helps us to survive in the neighborhood with these kind of exponentially high rising rents. And right now I'm in a condition, my partners are, that's why I brought all of my partners. We have spent almost all our savings in this restaurant. We haven't disturbed anyone in the neighborhood. We have tried to make sure that everybody is happy in the neighborhood. And and this is our hard work which Michelin recognized in this entire block, who got the Michelin in 54 days of operation. Which I can give you an example. There is one of the biggest chef from India who has millions of following. People stand online outside his place on First Avenue. He opened up his restaurant. It took him almost 1300 days, more than 1300 days, I can say, to get the Michelin recognition. He is a celebrated master chef. He comes in the TVs and everything. But this is the hard work. This is the love of the community, the entire Avenue A and the nearby community which we got, and we got that recognition. We want you to consider that we haven't been a nuisance to the community at all. We hire local people who
Can I
live
get can I get a word in here, Edgewise? Hello.
And go ahead.
I just want to mention, I'm sorry, Biniak, I hate to cut you
So,
off,
no problem.
but I don't want you rambling. 2 a.m. is not extreme. 4 a.m. is extreme. I appreciate the fact that neither speaker had anything at all negative to say about this operation. I understand the neighborhood, but I also understand the fact that we want restaurants like this in the neighborhood. This is not a bar. This is not a place that's going to become rowdy late at night. This is a place that just needs to complete the last turn so that it can pay its rent and its payroll. It's as simple as that. Thank you.
Okay.
I mean, the whole
Thanks
idea
for
of
that,
the late
Frank.
hours. I'm sorry, Clint. One more thing.
No,
The
just
whole
I was
idea
just
of the
thinking.
the whole idea of the late hours is not to promote a bar party type crowd. This is a legitimate Michelin starred restaurant. And then operation is not going to change. This is what we are. This isn't the bait and switch where we're going to say one thing, get 2 a.m. and do something else. That's not happening. This is us.
Thank you for that, Frank. So, I'm going to go ahead and start by saying, I haven't been to your restaurant, so I can't speak to the food. I've heard it's very good, but what I will say is, I've been by often. I'm not going to say every night, and my concern is that it doesn't. I never see you packed. And I know that's probably something you're struggling with. So my concern is you've been open less than a year, and this is something we've been talking about a lot lately. You've been open less than a year, and you're already coming back needing to expand from what you were originally approved for. To me, that's a little concerning. The second part of this is, as I mentioned when I gave the summary, this was a brand new space that in the previous business before you, Kobo by Nye, was a brand new space. We approved him in an unlicensed location with full liquor because he had been experienced in the neighborhood for many, many years and had not had problems. And he agreed to early hours. One thing that we're really trying to do, and we've talked about this a lot and we're updating our policies recently, is that we don't want to do anything where we're expanding a use. We're expanding the impact on the community. And even if you are clearly a restaurant, which I do believe you are, and I hope that you will get busy, and I hope these hours would give you a crowd coming in. What that's doing is adding to the people on the street until 2 a.m., which, whether they're bars or restaurant patrons, that area was awful. Upper area Avenue A was one of the worst areas for many years, and we've finally, in the last probably 8 years or so, starting to get it back under control. So my fear is extending something to 2 a.m., which was previously an unlicensed location. And within 2 years, we're now going full liquor and 2 a.m. I don't think that's something I myself can support. Now, you were approved originally. I think your hours on your website say you're open till 10:30 during the week. You were approved until 11 p.m. So, I'm not saying that gives you the extra half hour. What I would be comfortable doing, I would be comfortable going to midnight. I would probably prefer midnight all days, depending on what the rest of the committee feels. I would possibly be willing to go midnight during the week and one on Friday or Saturday. But for me, that's the very most. And what we're trying to do is get restaurants that are real legitimate restaurants. And after that, we have restaurant owners tell us that really after 12, 1 p.m., 1 a.m., it doesn't become a restaurant crowd and it does become a problem. So for me personally, and I'm not speaking for the rest of the committee at the moment, I would consider 12 during the week, 1 on Friday and Saturday. But given everything that I just listed is kind of the reasons why I'm not comfortable going any further than that.
When you say operating less than a year, you're talking about a difference of 2 weeks, Clint. 2 weeks less than a year.
But Frank, you applied over a month and a half ago or so, at least a month ago. So that was still less than a year. But even that, you're just hitting a year.
And it wasn't heard till 6 weeks after, Clint. Come on.
But this isn't admin approval, so there was no requirement for a year. I'm just saying, in terms of operating, if someone's coming in that quickly,
This wasn't an admin approval. This wasn't an admin approval.
I'm not saying. I said it was not an admin approval, so there's no requirement for a year. I'm just simply saying, if someone's coming back in within a year to make a change to the operation, to me, something happened that wasn't expected from the beginning. That's all I'm saying.
Well, okay, let's go with that. Let's stay with that theory. Tell me now what it is. Tell me what happened.
My theory is, because I walk by them on a regular basis, they are not busy enough, so they're not making enough money to pay their rent and their staff. They need the extended hours. That's my theory, Frank. And they mentioned already that they're having problems paying the high rent and their staff. So that, and again, I don't see them ever busy. I see some people in there, but I see other restaurants that are packed, and I don't see them being packed. So my concern is that they are doing this as a lifeline, and maybe it'll help. But I'm still not willing to give them 2 a.m. in a location that up until about 2 years ago was unlicensed. And that's, I'm sorry, that's my opinion. Someone else might have a different opinion on the committee, but that's my opinion.
I'll chime in on it.
Steven?
I think Friday, Saturday night is for a restaurant and allows.
We can't hear anything. Hello?
Hello? Oh, hello?
We can't hear anything.
I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you, Frank, but I can't hear the community board.
We're trying to fix it.
Okay.
Okay. Second, he's trying another mic.
Test? Here.
Test.
We can hear you.
Oh. So, you know, I think I got to go with along with what Clint says. I think 1 a.m. on Friday and Saturday is plenty enough for a restaurant. And it also allows them to comfortably have an 11 p.m. seating for reservations and tables and stuff for, you know, late night actual dining. So I would support what Clint is saying.
Anyone else?
I think the residents are being very fair and they're being very constructive, and it seems like at least problems. I think the jump is large. What you said, Clint, about the location. You know, the operation may not change that late, but the crowd does. So you know, it's out of your hands, and it's a setback in the neighborhood. So I am to start midnight every night, but I could, you know, like for example, the seating at 11. I hadn't thought about that, so I could be convinced to 1 a.m. Friday and Saturday, but that's just, you know, that's a stretch for me. So just so you guys know where.
Guys, I'm sorry. I'm driving, so can I just ask one question? What are the current stipulated hours?
11 p.m.
7 days a week?
Yes.
Biniak, you there?
Yes.
Clint, would you consider 1 a.m. 7 days a week? No. Did you hear me? Hello?
I said I would not.
Oh,
There
I
was
hear
a
you, sir.
Can you hear me now, Frank?
Yes.
Okay. So I said I would not be comfortable with 1 a.m. all nights. They took this location knowing what was there previously. And this is something we're going to start cracking down on. Just for your information, Frank, we are going to be much more consistent with extending hours and extending the impact on the neighborhood. So just for future, this is something we're going to be taking more seriously. There was a suggestion to give them 1 a.m. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Me neither. Straw poll. Does anyone feel strongly about that? So straw poll, yes. Yes to 1 a.m. Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
No.
No.
I mean,
I'm a no.
Your son, you know, Thursday, Saturday, man, but
Okay. No. So it seems like based on a straw poll that it would have passed. So I think right now we're getting ready to make a motion for 12 during the week and 1 on Friday and Saturday. So I think at this point, we're going to move to making a resolution. It's on the table. We'll put the stipulations up on the screen and go through these with you so you can see what we're actually voting on.
Yeah, I can't see them. I'm sorry.
Okay, we'll read them, and then hopefully your applicant will be able to relay anything to you. Really, we're the only thing we're changing. We may need to adjust. I don't know if the stipulations from the the prior stipulations do show 24 events per year, so that's good. We don't have to change that. Really, the only thing we're changing from the past stipulations are the hours, and it will be Sunday through Thursday, 11 a.m. Now, here's a question, because I don't think you're not opening at 11 a.m. every day, are you?
We are thinking to do.
You do, okay. Because if your stipulations say you're opening by 11, that means you have to be open by 11 or you're basically in violation of your stipulation. So if you're comfortable with that, we're going to leave you at 11 a.m., 12 a.m., 11 a.m. closing at 12 a.m. Sunday through Thursday. Friday and Saturday will be 11 a.m. closing at 1 a.m. And I'll quickly read through for Frank's benefit since he can't see it. It's a full liquor license, modern Indian.
Clinton, if the only change is the hours, just tell me the hours. Everything else is
Okay.
the same.
Okay, then that's, if you're okay with that, Frank, I just wanted to make sure that you knew what we were voting on. So the only change we are changing is the hours Sunday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 12 a.m., Friday and Saturday, 11 a.m. to 1 a.m. It was previously 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. all days. So we are adding 1 hour during the week, 2 hours on the weekend. So we are going to move to a vote. Stephen Ballinger,
Yes.
Michael Lavario,
Yes.
Clint Smeltzer, yes. Guillermo Zaviglio.
Yes.
So that motion passes. The office will be sending you out the stipulations to sign or not to sign. That is totally your choice. And Frank can advise you after that. Okay, thank you very much.
Enjoy the upcoming holiday all.
Thanks, Frank. So I think.
Sorry.
Going to be moving on now to item number 5, which is AIK Hospitality at 92 Ludlow Street. Is the applicant and or their representative here for 92 Ludlow Street, AIK Hospitality? Please raise your Zoom hand. Stacy is the attorney. Well, actually, Stacy Weiss is the attorney. I don't know. There's two there. I think Kevin Lee might be. Okay, so we have promoted, I think, applicants and their representative.
Hello, can you
Do
hear
we
me?
have? Yes, yes,
Okay.
we can, Stacy. So I think we have Kevin is here. Are the other applicants here? Are there?
There's only one other applicant?
No, it's me and Alex are here.
Yeah, the two applicants are here.
Okay, so you're both there on one camera. Perfect. Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay, so again, I'm going to read a quick summary and then we're going to turn it over to you for any comments. This is AIK Hospitality is seeking a full on-premises license, and the premise is located at 92 Ludlow Street between Broome and Delancey. It's an application for establishment of 295 people, 60 tables, 60 seats with 3 20-foot bars in the basement, ground level and rooftop, a full kitchen serving food during hours of operation, 3 television, DJs and live music and entertainment level. There are 48 on-premises licenses within 500 feet. This location has been open and operating as Hotel Chantel, or I think it was approximately. Sorry, and I just looked at this right before the meeting. I think Hotel Chantel originally began operation in.
Kevin, do you know how long?
Sorry about that. I had the paperwork. 2014, I think, is when they first applied. So.
Okay.
And the applicant is also a principal of the DL, which is across the street at 95, or not, sorry, 93 Ludlow and also 95 Lancey. It's a dual address because it's on a corner.
Mhm.
At that location, they also had 188 311 complaints in the past year. Out of those 188 complaints, 174 were non-crime corrected. At the proposed location, which is 92 Ludlow Street, There were 121 311 complaints, with 95 being non-crime corrected in the past year. We have received 6 letters of opposition from local residents. 32 residents who live within 2 blocks of the location signed a petition in favor of the application. They are proposing to operate as a restaurant with a full kitchen serving food all hours of operation. Their hours of operation are opening no later than 4 p.m., closing by 2 a.m. Sunday through Thursday, opening at 4 p.m. and closing by 4 a.m. Friday and Saturday. You did not check off if you would be using outdoor space for commercial use, but I know you have the roof, so I'm assuming that needs to be checked off.
It's
Will employ-
included though. It is included in the application, the rooftop. I don't know, it is, I did talk about the rooftop. Rooftop is retractable top, no music with the top
Yes.
retracted. Yeah, I did put it on.
Yes, I was just saying that on the questionnaire, you did not check off the outdoor space, but I'm assuming that because I know there's the rooftop, that it would be using the outdoor space.
Okay. All right.
Just clarifying that.
Okay.
You will have minimum of 5 security plus the door staff Friday and Saturday nights. Will install soundproofing to ensure there's no sound or vibration audible in nearby apartments. Will close any front and rear with doors and windows at 10 p.m. or when amplified sound is playing, included but not limited to DJs, live music, and live non-musical performances. It will play entertainment level music via DJs and live musicians. Will not have third-party promoters or scheduled performances. Will not host party crawls or party buses or pub crawls. I mix that up all the time. Will not have unlimited drink specials, including boozy brunches, and they will have a happy hour until 9 p.m. Will not have a wait line outside and will designate an employee for ensuring no loitering, noise, or crowds, and will post these stipulations. Okay, so that is my summary. If you'd like to go ahead and give us a little bit more information about what you're proposing.
Okay. Well, first of all, I think you have the old application. We sent another one on, let me tell you when we sent that one. That was sent on 7/29/25. We sent a new
Okay.
application, so it has little bit different information. Maybe that's why there's a little confusion about it.
Okay, please go
right.
ahead and, I mean, we're happy to update with what was changed. I'm sorry if I'm
That's
didn't
okay.
get that.
That's okay. I mean, there is 295, the occupancy, and we have, we asked for Friday and Saturday, 11 to 4, and Monday through Thursday, 4 to 8, 4 to 4. I know it's a little bit more hours, 2 more hours than you had mentioned.
Wait, could you repeat those, Stacy? What did you say?
Yeah, it's Friday and Saturday, 11 to 4.
Or yeah,
And
Monday,
then,
Thursday, 4 to 4. That was okay. Gotcha.
yeah, 4 to 4. Yep. And then this one does talk about, let's see, it says type, a number of floors, there's a basement, first floor, and rooftop. And by the way, there is soundproofing already there. If there needs to be improved, we could approve it, but I know that they have a person checking the sound, and like I said, if they need to improve it, they can. I mean, it's pretty much what you said there is, as far as what they're going to be doing. There's no music with the top retracted after 10. It's a completely retractable roof, so they'll close the roof at 10. Obviously, there'll be no music after the roof is closed. Let's see. They obviously also, they're not the current owners of this place. I mean, they're looking to get this place. So the people that own it, you know, they're the ones that are responsible for what's going on. Obviously, my client will try to improve whatever needs to be improved there if he does get the place. This is not a transfer, it's going to be a new application at this time. That's what they plan on doing. If they need to increase the security, they'll have, 10 security on Friday and Saturday if it's necessary. They'll have security inside, they'll have security outside, they'll have a roving security inside and outside. They want to make sure that they keep people from loitering. They'll prevent it by telling people to move along. Also, security will stop cars from double parking in the neighborhood in that front of the place. All wait and bar staff will be ATAP trained. There'll be a manager or his phone number. Will there be a manager available at all times to respond to any complaints from any community board residents? And then, like I said, there'll be no music on the rooftop after 10 and it'll be closed. If there's any questions, more specific
Okay,
questions.
I do have one more thing that I forgot to mention in my summary.
Okay.
You checked off there were no violations with the SLA. There were several violations that have already been resolved, and there are still some pending violations from 2022. Could you speak a little bit about those?
Okay, first of all, I can't speak to the other people because they're not my clients.
No, these are your clients.
No, they're not
These
my
are
clients.
these are from the DL, your clients from the
Oh,
DL
okay.
that are proposing to take over the new location. These are violations from the DL, their
From the
current.
DL. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I was misunderstood. I thought you were talking about.
No, they're not from the new location. They're from their
Okay.
existing location.
Okay.
So under their experience on the questionnaire where it asks about their other experience, and there is a question that asks about any violations, and they check no.
Okay, I
that-
thought you were referring to this place. I'm sorry. My
Okay.
apologies on that.
Okay.
So what,
Okay, I'd have to ask Alex. Alex, are you aware of any violations from the SLA from 2022, and have they been resolved?
what was the violation that you guys have there?
Because I thought we were.
I can pull them up momentarily, but the fact that you're asking me what violation you have, that doesn't instill a lot of.
Well,
Uh,
I think because for my assumption, I think it was all resolved. So you know.
So this was information that we received from the SLA 2 days ago.
2022? They were-
2022, and I
Right.
can I can give you the case numbers if you'd like, but the SLA has them still as pending. And there's a litany. I have 69 pages of your history for your licenses of SLA violations.
Okay.
Okay,
So could you please tell me a little bit about that?
okay. As I said, I am not familiar with any of these violations. The only violations that were brought up was something from 2019 and 2022 from the new location. That was addressed and that was taken care of. I'm not familiar with anything else other than those two, which were taken care of. If there's violations, I can't see how something could be pending for 3 years with the liquor authority. So.
JC, you
sorry.
deal with the liquor license, you deal with the SLA all the time.
I do, and then they usually are not open for 3 years. I mean, and if there's that many, I'm surprised that other action hasn't been taken by them. So I would have to look at that. I would have to look into that, really.
So
I'm being honest
I
with
can
you.
give you the case numbers right now. I know I'm not expecting you to look them up right now, but I have it in front of me. It's case number 121-2022, case number 159275. There are 3 charges on February 12th of 2022. Noise, disturbance, misconduct, or disorder on the premises. Second charge is violation of subdivisions 1 and 3 of the alcohol ABC law. There's a sustained and continued pattern of noise, disturbance, misconduct, and disorder for the licensed premises related to the operation. On February 12th as well, there was violation of 48.2. The licensee through actions or inactions of the principal and its agents failed to ensure a high degree of supervision of the conduct of its business. Those are pretty serious charges.
Yep, okay.
And
Okay, go ahead.
And those are just, so there's also, when I dug a little further and looked into 168 Delancey, which is the Delancey, it's another business operated by the principal. They had 232 311 complaints, and I think 188 of those were non-crime corrected in the past year. These are numbers that I don't think I have ever seen before.
I'm surprised because I looked up 311 and in the past 6 months, I only saw 3 in that area on 311. 3 noise complaints in that area.
Wait, what do you say in the area?
Yeah, not the entire area, but when I looked up 168 and 93 Delancey, specifically 168, it only showed like 3 or 4 noise complaints on 311 for the past 6 months. So I'm surprised.
I'm not sure what you looked up, but I did look them up this afternoon, and it took me a long time to count them all, but there was quite a lot.
Okay, and we're sure it's all from the Delancey, or it could be from something else, other places in the area around?
So that where the Delancey is at 168, there
Yeah.
are one or two small bars in front, but they have a huge rooftop, and I think they've been quite a problem. So maybe a couple of them might be from some other bar, but I'm pretty confident that most of those are from 168.
But we're
So
not sure.
I
We're
think,
not sure, right? I'll have to check into that a little
okay.
further. because-
So just on this note, Susan Stetzer, our district manager, wanted to add something as well.
So I want to say consistently for years, the DL and Hotel Chantel have had the worst complaints, not only in number, but in, people being so upset because it was egregious. It wasn't just a little noise. As we speak, I have people complaining about Hotel Chantel. The DL has again been, egregious about maybe 2 years ago. I actually wanted to contact the owner to try and work with them. And I know one of the former partners, and he told me that he gave my information to the owner in hopes that he would contact me, but he never contacted me. I was willing to try and, explain the problems and try and work with them. These are consistently for many years among the most egregious in that area. And the 311s, I'm wondering if maybe you're not looking at NYPD commercial complaints, because that's where you would find them.
Yeah, I did. I looked at commercial. I put the address in. I looked up commercial noise complaints.
But it has to be NYPD commercial. It has to be under NYPD because it's huge amounts. I even spoke to the precinct today and they respond to noise complaints a lot. So I know at those locations. So I know that, the 311s are legit.
Okay. All right. I would have to look it up again. Like I said, I thought I saw only 3, but like you said, maybe I was looking at the wrong place. Okay. So as I said
Yeah.
before, the Hotel Chantal is not owned by the people that are applying for it, obviously. So, I mean, the only thing I could say is that they would operate it in a better fashion. They would have more security, and increase if they had to, the soundproofing. But that's the only thing they could do. I mean, they could only just try to work with you and try to fix the problem if they can. And, I mean, the place is gonna exist with the current owners. So we could only make it a little bit better, hopefully, with the new owners.
Okay, so I know I have 2 people here in person, and I think there are some people online that would like to speak to this. So I know, Stacy, you had a chance to speak. Do the applicants want to say anything before we move to members of the public?
I mean,
Yeah,
Kevin, go ahead.
Yeah, as far as the noise complaint goes, we work with the NYPD all the time to make sure that we keep at a reasonable volume. Now, out of these 311 complaint, do we know how many is actually repeat, one person, or is it, 10 or 20 people? Because most of the time it's 1 or 2 person making multiple complaints. So that's where our heads is at. And we've been in the business here, 15 plus year and 20 plus year at the Delancey, and we work with the precinct all the time as far as the crime stuff and the security, making sure there's no crime outside. So that's where we stand on those. But we actively try to make sure that we follow the rules and the regulation when it comes to noise, and we actively go to the meeting with the NYPD. So that's where we at when it comes to that.
So, no, it's not 1 or 2 people. It's many people for years. This is years and years, because I get complaints in the office. This isn't just anonymous 311 complaints. We've been getting complaints here for years. As far as the precinct, they said that it was not a crime issue, but they said there was noise. So when you're talking about working with the precinct, they're not there for, grand larceny and that kind of stuff, which is very big in the area, but they're not denying the noise. What?
Would you say that?
Yeah, but Yes, I mean, as Clint is saying, it's even if it was one person, the police are coming, they're finding a noise problem. When it says non-crime corrected, that means that they found a noise problem. They did not issue a summons, but they said, turn it down. They found a problem. But I'm telling you from experience in the office for years, back from when Paul was operating it, it has been a problem.
Okay, and like, you're talking about the hotel, Chantel. Is that what you're talking about?
Talking about Dale.
The DL? Okay.
So we are going to go ahead and move to members of the public. We do have I know we have two people here in person that wanted to speak to this item. So I'm going to go ahead and call on them. Sam. Okay. So I have Sam? Yes. Sam and Adam. Okay. So go ahead.
All right. My name is Adam. I live next to Hotel Chantel. I live through the full impact of what this place does to its neighbors every single night. And I'm begging you not approve this takeover. Their current owners claim they stop the music at 10 p.m. when the roof retracts. That's a lie. The music and crowds go until the bar closes. 4 a.m. on weekends, 2 a.m. on weekends. Blasting at almost double the legal decibel limit. Families like mine are jolted awake, going home, night after night. That's not business, that's torment. It doesn't stop there. I personally had water dumped from the rooftop into my courtyard, splashing my windowsills where electronics like air conditioners sit. If my windows were open, my apartment would have been soaked. That's representation of people's homes. So the DL staff came to my door to sign off on their expansion. When I said no and voiced my complaint, they offered me free drinks in return as kind of a bribery. That's definitely illegal. And now the DL wants to take over Hotel Chantel. Let's be clear, they're not the solution. They're a bigger problem. Their reputation is no secret. They host underage drinking. Ask anyone in New York. They're the hub for underage drinkers. They've had a long record of breaking the rules and endangering the community. If you prove this takeover, you're not solving anything. You're doubling down on lawlessness. You're handing more power to the operators who've already shown that they abuse it. So ask yourselves, you want to be remembered as the board who gave the lawbreakers more power? Expansion won't fix this. It'll multiply the damage. Do not approve this takeover. Thank you.
Thank you, Adam. I guess next we have Sam.
Just that there have been multiple crawls hosted by the DL, including St. Patrick's Day was probably the craziest day of the year on that block. So I'm convinced that there will not be any pub crawls. Both roofs are always open with DJs on the roof, especially at the DL. The music extends past 4 a.m. I always wait until 4 a.m. Because I know that they're supposed to close and the music often extends past that. Loitering in the street past sunrise even. And even if there's soundproofing, our building shakes. So I don't think that soundproofing would secure the building from shaking multiple buildings away. And then adding to the water dumping, there are palm tree leaves and beer cans visibly in fire escapes next door. They're, you could go look right now, they're there. And they've been there for months. So finally, the lawyer applicants and current owners do not convince anyone here, I think, that anything will be improved in the future. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Sam. Okay, now we're going to move to the community members that are online. I do see one hand up. I see Patrick Walsh. Patrick, we're going to go ahead and promote you. And we're going to time everyone. You all have 2 minutes to speak.
Yeah, I just want to echo the two speakers before. We don't need this. These are clearly, objectively, transparently bad operators. And this community has suffered way too much already. Every bad operator affects the entire neighborhood by creating lawlessness, an atmosphere of lawlessness. And this guy who's saying it was one or two people, even if it is one person, this is a person whose rights are being violated. And as Susan said, it's much more than that. But the contempt that these people have for us who live here, who try to raise families here, who need to sleep. This is too much. I implore you not to agree with this. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Patrick. Next, we have it's like Michael Mangieri.
Hi, yeah, this is Briar Winters and my partner, Michael Mangieri. We're over on Rivington Street. And I just want to say that I really appreciate what the people before us have said about this establishment. I walk past there all the time, and you know, just the conditions in the neighborhood in general, as we all know, are totally abysmal. But one thing that I do want to say very specifically about this operator is that for a while, one of the principals, Alexandra, was also a principal. Hi, someone's talking and I'm trying to talk, so that shouldn't be happening. Thank you. Yeah, so basically, Alexandra, who is going to be a proposed principal at this with this new license, was one of the operators of Delilah on Rivington Street for many years. And while she was managing Delilah, we really had a lot of problems, and the management was totally unresponsive to all of our issues, you know, in regards to noise and crowding. And to top it all off, while she was managing that place, someone was stabbed outside downstairs, and we walked outside our door to find blood on the sidewalk in the snow. And honestly, that was really traumatic. And it was never addressed. No one ever apologized for what happened, you know, like and the issue continued after that, you know, not people getting stabbed, but just general disorder and violence and noise. And so I just really feel like I have a personal stake in trying to stop what's happening here, just because of what we went through. And you know, again, I've been here almost 25 years now. I've seen things continue on in this way, and it's totally unreasonable. And we cannot afford to allow these operators to take this place over. And it's, yeah, I mean, I think you all understand what we're saying here. Thanks.
Great. Thank you very much. Next, we have DM Boyd. DM, I think we promoted you. You can go ahead and unmute yourself.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, thank you. So I don't want to beat a dead horse, but I think it's really, really important. We implore you to deny this license. We know who these operators are. You have, as you said, you know the extensive history, violation history. They've had license canceled, suspended. We want to get back to Rivington F and B, which is the 155 Rivington. It wasn't just one person that was stabbed. These were sustained charges. It was 3 people that were stabbed. There was the charges where a woman was brought to the back of the restaurant. You know, she was impaired. I mean, after those violations, the SLA, same operator as the DL, canceled their license. The license prior to DL's current license in 2022 was $40,000, and they were giving a stark warning that they had to shape up. And we believe that they're in trouble with these open violations now. And Stacy is a lawyer, and she knows very well that sometimes these violations are not taken care of for years by the SLA. But one of the main points that we really want to emphasize is that the violation for the DL specifically says that the premises and the area around the premises is a point for police attention. That is how bad these violations are. These are how bad these operators are. Between the DL and Hotel Chantel, that corner is a war zone. And we begged you, you know, at 155 Rivington to not approve it because we knew this issue was a bad operator. And what we got were stabbings, like really dangerous situations. And if you approve this takeover, I can't imagine what's going to happen. Please deny this license. Thank you.
DM. Okay, is there anyone else? I don't think I see any other hands raised on Zoom. I see no one here in person. So I think that's going to conclude our public speakers. Oh, sorry, there is one more. There is a hand, Ned's MacBook.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Go ahead.
Oh, wonderful. My name is Ned Schlansky, and I live at 175 Rivington Street. I've lived in the neighborhood on the other side of Delancey for the past 6 years. And I also just wanted to express my discouragement for the community board approving this license. I'm more familiar with the Delancey, and I believe there's a connection with the operators. And every time I walk by the Delancey, particularly in warm weather, when the rooftop is operational, it's very loud. I just think to myself every time I walk by, thank goodness I don't live to either side of this club. You couldn't get any sleep. The noise constantly extends beyond the building envelope into the surrounding neighborhood. So I think, I think that throws a bad track record on these operators. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Ned. Okay, so that finishes up our public session. We're going to give the applicants or their attorney a chance to respond to anything that they've just heard. So if you'd like, Stacy or Alexander or Kevin, if you'd like to go ahead.
So the only thing I would add is when it comes to that is, you have baseless allegation that we do underage. We do not do any underage. In fact, that's one of the point that we try not to do. So, if you're gonna accuse us something, at least back it up with facts. Just because you heard something, that's not truly the case. I do admit that there's a noise complaint. I'm not going to say no to that, but not anything that is illegal in terms of underage drinking or anything like that. That's definitely not something that we do. So I just want to make that clear for the record. That's it.
Okay, Stacy, you're still muted. If you just unmute yourself, please.
Sorry. No, I was saying that I was going to address that about the underage drinking. People can make allegations, but they never received any violations for underage drinking. As Kevin said, okay, we'll admit, there has been some noise there. I mean, it's obviously it's a nightclub, and he would, if he got to take over the hotel Chantel, I mean, he would definitely address the noise complaints. And now that, I mean, it's brought to our attention that there were other noise complaints at the Delancey and BL, and, we could address that also. But as far as underage, and also about not retracting the roof, retracting the roof after 10, again, that's not my client. He can't control what they're doing to the roof up there, so that would be something he would address also. As far as the NYPD, as Kevin said, they've been in touch with the NYPD, and now with that new quality, the Q team, he would be working with them, with the Q team, trying to make things right in the neighborhood. And it's not just Alex that's going to be owning the place. It's going to be Kevin also, and he's had 16 years of hospitality experience, and I think that he would, the place would benefit from his experience. I mean, right now,
And
currently.
I'll add one thing, Susan. We never got something from you in terms of reaching out. We'll definitely reach out after this meeting to discuss further regarding the issues that you're facing.
Yeah, that's
Also,
another.
it was who
Sorry.
gave you my contact information.
Okay,
I never
there was
received it, so yeah, we didn't receive, and Alex said she didn't receive it either.
Never got anything.
they're willing to work, they want to work with the community board and with the neighbors, and they want to be, better neighbors. They will control, as I said, right now, the hotel Chantel needs some assistance, and my clients are willing to work with you on getting the place fixed as best they can and cutting out some of those noise complaints. They're willing to do whatever is necessary. I mean, it's going to continue operating.
Okay, so yes, I mean, we know this has nothing to do with the DL as far as that continuing to operate. And I'm not sure what the future holds for Hotel Chantel as far as that, but I would like to point out a couple things just mainly for the committee members. There are a couple things that the SLA does require us to consider when we are reviewing these applications. One is the history of the location. So I know that these new applicants are taking over for Hotel Chantel, and you're proposing that they would do a better job. However, one of the other things we are required to consider is the history of the applicant. And in this case, the applicant's history is not necessarily clear either. So I understand they're saying they would love to, now that it's been brought to your attention, they would love to work with the community board, and that's all well and good. But what I'm going to say is for myself, and I'm speaking for myself. That's a little too late. You can't come when you are wanting something from the community board and say, oh, now we'll work with you. What about the past 12, 13, 14 years when there's been complaints and problems? It's not just been recently when Susan reached out to you. I mean, this has been going on for years, and there are many other complaints in those 69 pages that were resolved. So you were fined $10,000 here, $2,000 here, $1,000 here. So there's a lot of you don't have a clean record. So I'm going to make a proposal now that, just to make things simple, I'm making a proposal we outright deny this, that I don't see any reason that we could try to come up with some kind of stipulations that would make this bearable for both the community and the nearby residents. So I don't know if anyone else has anything else they would like to add. I'm happy to entertain any other conversations, but my proposal is for an outright denial.
Would you say
Well,
content?
Yeah.
Patrick,
Kevin?
I so much content. I have
I'm
a
sorry?
question. Oh, I'm just backing what. Sorry. Go. Oh no, go ahead.
Who's currently operating Hotel Chantel?
I'm sorry? What's the question?
Currently operating Hotel Chantel, and how long have you been the applicant's attorney for?
I couldn't understand the question. I'm sorry. I couldn't hear it. It was broken up. What was the question?
How long have you been representing the applicants, and who's currently operating Hotel Chantel?
Who's representing Hotel Chantel? Nobody's right here right now because they're not taking the Hotel Chantel. It's not a transfer. So it's actually going to be a new application. So there's no.
Can I
nobody
help?
here.
I think he asked how long you've been representing the applicant, and is that correct? Okay, so Stacy, these are the
Yes.
two questions.
Yes.
How long have you been representing this applicant?
Okay, so it's been a couple of months. I've been
Couple of
getting
months.
prepared for this, for the meeting. Yes.
Thank you. And who is currently, who currently owns Hotel Chantel? Who's operating?
Good pal.
I
Who's
have
that?
nothing really,
Chantel
I really
owns
have
the-
nothing to do with them.
No,
So
but you is operating it.
who's operating it?
Yeah,
In what way? What do you mean operating it?
is the current operator of Hotel Chantel.
There's still good pal Chantel right now while we're trying to go through this process.
What did he say? We couldn't hear that. Could you repeat that, please?
It's still under the ownership of the.
The current owners. Yeah, current
And
owners.
we're asking for the name. We're asking for their name.
Good pal Chantel Corp.
Hotel Chantel Corp.
There,
I'd have to look it up. I'm not sure who I don't
Is
have
that-
anything really to do with the owners. So, I really, yeah, I have to look it up online because I don't really have anything to do with the owners. Because it's like I said, it's not a transfer. It's going to be a new application. So if obviously if it's not approved, that's moot, but,
I
otherwise-
think they're double speaking here. I think since this is not a corporate transfer, nor is it a sale of assets, I think the SLA will consider our consideration.
Let's see.
At
hold
this
on, here it
point,
is. Right now, it's owned by, I'm looking online, a Frank Alesso and a Seth Levine. That's
yes.
who the
So
principals are.
I think what we were talking about, and we're going to move on after this, we were talking about not who is actually still ownership on paper, but who is physically doing the day-to-day operation, who is there running it. But again, that's moot at this point, so we're going to go ahead and move on. I think right now there's a resolution that has been proposed. We're going to take a vote on this. If it fails, we'll look into something else. But right now, the resolution on the table is that we will deny outright
Okay.
based on the adverse history, not only of the location, the adverse history of the applicant,
Mhm.
and as well as that the extreme oversaturation and problems in the area, increases in traffic, increases in noise, increases in crime on the streets. So that is the
Well, you know-
proposal. Oh,
Sorry to
yep,
interrupt.
go ahead. Oh, no, actually, no, don't go ahead because there's a
No,
proposal on the
I know,
table.
I understand there's a proposal on the table, but that's not gonna change anything because it's still gonna exist. So it's not
Yep.
gonna increase anything.
We got it.
Okay?
So that's the resolution on the table. We're going to move to a vote. Stephen Ballinger. We're voting to deny outright.
Yes.
Michael Lavario,
Yes.
Clint Smeltzer, yes. Guillermo Zabiglia.
Yes, C.
Okay. So the motion has been denied. So there will not be stipulations sent out to you, but the resolution will be sent to the SLA. You of course know you have the right to appeal this at the state level.
Yes, I know. Yes, thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much for your time.
Have a good night. Thank you.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, we are moving on to item number 7, which is Mushi 201 Allen Street. If the applicant is here for Mushi 201 Allen Street, please raise your Zoom hands and we'll promote you. Oh, there we go. Okay, so I think we have the applicant here. See, what's her name? See it. Is it? And I'm sorry if I'm mauling your name. Is it Shearza?
It's Cherise.
Cherise. Okay, sorry about that. And Neil, do you have and Murad? You're the applicants? Do you have an attorney or representative here with you, or is it just tonight?
Yeah, that's me. That's Neil.
Oh, Neil. Okay, so Neil is the attorney. Perfect. Okay, so as you've heard, I'm going to give a brief summary, hand it over to you, and we'll move on. Okay, so this is Mushi, and is that how you're pronouncing it? Is it Mushi or is it?
It's Mushe.
Mushe. Okay, so Mushe LLC, doing business as Montanari Kitchen and Restaurant, is seeking an on-premises liquor license for the premises located at 201 Allen Street between Houston and Stanton. It's an application for a bar tavern with an establishment of 16 people, 11 tables and 16 seats, one bar with no seats. It's less than a full kitchen prep area serving small bites with food served during all its operation, streaming music and karaoke. There are 31 full on-premises licenses within 500 feet. Yeah, this location was previously licensed. I think it was licensed with beer and wine. We haven't received any support or opposition to this item at the moment. Four residents who live within 2 blocks of the location signed a petition in favor of the application. It is a bar tavern with prep area. They're proposing hours, opening no later than 6 a.m., closing by 2 a.m. all days. You did not check off whether you'll be using outdoor space for commercial use. And I think you also did not check off whether you would close any front or rear facade doors and windows. And you're playing recorded background music only, but I think you are proposing to have karaoke. You will not have pub crawls or party buses, will not have unlimited drink specials, including boozy brunches, and you did not check off happy hours. So if you'd like to just go ahead and give us a summary add in anything that I've missed or anything that needs to be clarified or changed?
The most important thing is it's not a hard liquor license, it's a beer and wine.
Oh, apologies for that. Sorry. We'll make that correction.
Mostly, it's just a place to, just for, relaxation, coffee. I believe we provided a menu, but it's light bites, coffee and drinks, for a place for people to just simply, come and just, relax, read a book, just enjoy company, and that's about it. If you have any specific questions, we can answer.
So are you proposing any outdoor use?
I don't think so, no.
Like the sidewalk cafe or roadbed? Now, I think there's a bus station there, a bus stop. So I don't know if you would even I don't know if you have enough room for a sidewalk cafe. And because of the bus stop, I don't think you could have a roadbed cafe. So I think in this case, you would just check off that you will not use outdoor space for commercial use. And I think previously, I'm trying in one of the renditions, I think there's been a couple little things there, which were already beer and wine. So I'm glad to hear that. Was there, yeah. Do you have closed? I think one of the versions had opening windows that opened. Do your windows open, or are you going to have windows that open, or is it a closed fixed facade that doesn't open?
No, it does open.
Okay, so then we would just check off that you will close any front or rear facade doors and windows at 10 p.m. or anytime amplified sound is playing. Okay, and I think there was one other. I just wanted to talk. Could you tell me a little bit about what you are proposing? I know you had music, and then I think you mentioned karaoke and DJ. You didn't check off that you would not have DJs or live music, and I think you mentioned karaoke in the questionnaire. So could you tell me a little bit what your thoughts are on that?
Yes. So, let me first begin with the window situation that I have in mind. So mostly we're gonna have the windows closed all days because we're gonna have AC on. So we don't want the windows open. And coming to the music, we are not gonna do karaoke because I think it's gonna be too much for a cafe. We just want simple light music, some relaxation music during cafe hours, and then after 5 it's just going to be light music, just you know within doors. Nothing's going to go out. Yeah.
Okay, so it's just kind of recorded background music, and you said you are, as far as the karaoke, you said you're not going to do the karaoke because it's going to be too much. Good. That actually makes that I'm happy to hear that in some ways because I know it is also a pretty small space.
Yeah.
Okay. So one other thing I'd like to clarify, you have on you listed your hours of operation as 6:30 a.m. to 2 a.m. all nights.
Yes.
The way we word our stipulations is you're opening no later than, and in this case it would be 6:30 a.m. all days. Are you definitely sure that you're going to be open at 6:30 every day?
We were planning to change it to 7. So
Okay.
it'd be 7 a.m. to 5 cafe hours. And then from 5 to, on the weekdays, it's going to be 12. And then on the weekends, like until Monday to Wednesday, it's going to be midnight. And then Thursdays to Sunday, it's going to be around 1. 2.
Okay.
Sorry.
2. Okay. So let me just restate just to make sure. So I think you're proposing 7 a.m. all days, was opening at 7 a.m. all days, and then you'll be closing at midnight, Sunday through Wednesday, and 2 a.m. Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yes.
Okay. Now, I just want to make sure you are proposing that you'll definitely be open at 7.
Yes, absolutely.
Because if not, and I've explained this to other applicants in the past, if you're not open at 7, then you're in violation. If you think you may be opening later, you could say 8 or 9. You're still able to open earlier. You just can't open later. So if that's something that would be better, I just don't want you to get into a situation where you're not opening at 7 because it's too early, so you open later and then you're in violation of your stipulations. Would it be, if you're definitely going to be open at 7, I'm happy to put that. I just wanted to make sure that you were clear how that worked.
Oh, so let me clear this for myself. So you're saying that if I give a time around 9 and I open at 7, that's going to work?
That is perfectly fine. We love having morning businesses because that's foot traffic and that's also places that, you know, get people other than late night activities. So yes, if you say 9 a.m., that means you have to open by 9, but you could open at 6:30, you could open at 7. You have to be open by 9. If you say 7 a.m., that means you have to be open by 7.
Okay. So yeah, in that case, you changed my mind. So I'm gonna do 9, but I like to be consistent, so I'll open by 7.
That's fine, but we'll just put 9 on your stipulations, and you are welcome to open earlier than that if you'd like. This way, you're just a little bit protected in case, you know, the 7 a.m. isn't working. You want to move it back to 9, then you have some flexibility. Okay, so we're going to say 9 a.m. all days, closing at 12 midnight, Sunday through Wednesday, 2 a.m. Thursday through Saturday.
Yes, absolutely.
And you didn't check off, I think, on the stipulate. You're not proposing to have pub crawls or party buses or anything come to your establishment, are you?
Sorry, I didn't get your question.
I said you're not proposing, you didn't, I don't think checked off on your questionnaire, but you're not going to have party buses or pub crawls or anything else come to your establishment? And no unlimited boozy brunches, are you? Okay, perfect. We'll check those off on the stip. They just weren't checked off in your questionnaire, and that's fine. I think sometimes people just miss those. And I think, are you proposing you want to have a happy hour?
We're still deciding on that. Most
So-
of it will be short.
Let me just, the way we phrase it is, if you say, and we actually don't really have problems with happy hours, that's not an issue for us, but the way we phrase it is you may have a happy hour. So if you want to say you want to have a happy hour till, I'm just going to say 7 p.m., we phrase it in stipulation as you may have a happy hour till 7 p.m. That doesn't mean you have to, but if you're thinking about it, it's better to put it in now so that it's documented.
Okay. Yeah, we're thinking about it, so we'll definitely.
Okay.
Thank you for suggesting.
What time would you like to have it till?
We'll have it until 10 p.m.
Happy hour until 10.
No, I mean, that's. You're
I
gonna
think
have
you
happy
can.
hour until 10 o'clock?
Yeah. I think it is. Okay, so we'll put that, we're going to put in the stipulation, so you may have a happy hour until 10 p.m. Again, I think this is a situation where if you have a happy hour until 7 or 8, then that's fine, but the stipulation would be to say till 10, so. Okay, I think that clarified all the questions that we had. Let's just double check to make sure. There's no one here in person. Is there anyone here on Zoom that wanted to speak to this item? Raise your Zoom hand. Okay, I do not see anyone. So, committee members, any questions or concerns with this application? Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so there is a question about, are you still proposing to have live music?
No.
Okay, so we're going to take off the live music. So we're going to say you're only going to have background recorded music is what you're going to be playing. You're not having the karaoke, you're not having live music or DJs.
No DJs for sure.
Okay. 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 Okay, so any other committee questions? If not, we'll go ahead and put the stipulations up on the screen and we'll go through those. Okay, so these are your stipulations. I'm gonna read through these just so that we're all clear. And then if this is approved by the committee, this is what will be sent out to you for signature, and this is what will be forwarded to the SLA. So it is I, Murad Megani, as a qualified representative of Mushi LLC, located at 201 Allen Street, will be a wine and beer license, will operate a bar tavern with less than a full service kitchen, but serving food during all hours of operation. The hours of operation will be Sunday through Wednesday. I think you were proposing closing at 12 a.m. Sunday through Wednesday, 2 a.m. Thursday through Saturday is what you asked for. So it'll. Go ahead, sorry.
Number 3 has to change. I think it's Sunday to Wednesday, right?
Okay, yes, that's what, I think that's what we're correcting. So it's Sunday to Wednesday, 9 AM to 12 AM, and then Thursday to Saturday, 9 AM to 2 AM. Then it's, I will not use outdoor space for commercial use. You obviously don't need doorman or security for that kind of space. Soundproofing, there were businesses there before, so I don't know that we've had any problems. So I think we're not gonna require the soundproofing. You will close any front or rear facade doors and windows at 10 PM or when any amplified sound is playing. You will not have DJs, live music, third-party promoted events, any event which the cover fee is charged, or scheduled performances. You will play ambient recorded background music only. Will not apply for an alteration without coming to CB3. Will not seek a change in class without first obtaining approval from CB3. Will not participate in pub crawls or party buses. Will not have unlimited drink specials, including boozy brunches. You will have a happy hour, or you may have a happy hour and it will end by 10 PM. You will conspicuous. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry to interrupt you, but can I change it to 7 PM?
Sure. I mean, that part is totally up to you. So, okay, we updated that. You will not have wait lines outside, and you will have a staff person for ensuring no loitering, noise, or crowds. You will post the stipulations by your liquor license, and residents may contact the manager or owner at the number below. We have Murad Megani, and it is. So what was the number? I think it was cut off on the application.
It's 786-281.
786. Okay. 786-281-8938. Perfect. Okay. So I think if everything is correct, what we just went through, we're going to go ahead and move to a vote on this. It is Stephen Ballinger.
Yes.
Mario.
Yes.
Clint Smeltzer. Yes. Guillermo Zabiglia. So the motion passes. The office will be sending you out the stipulation form with instructions on getting it signed and returned to us. And if you have any questions, please reach out to the office. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay, bye. Okay, so next we are moving on to number 9, the Oven Slice 2 LLC. It's 218 First Avenue.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Can everybody hear me?
I'm sorry, I have mute, so you couldn't hear me, but I think now we're all good.
Yes. So I'm here present with Kara. She's actually the owner. So it's the brand new pizzeria we just opened at the corner of First Avenue between East 13th Street and 14th Street. As part of I was informed by the current owner. She's a first time owning a pizzeria. She just recently purchased the brand name. It's Oven Slice actually trying to franchise the brand name for multiple locations in Manhattan. So this is pretty much the second location franchise. So she pretty much purchased this business as a first time owner and just recently opened like a month ago. It's a pretty brand new. And also I'm not sure if you have visited the place, but we had limited seating. We only have 8 tables and 23 chairs indoors. We only plan to have only recorded music. There is no kitchen inside. We only have a commercial oven where we actually prepare a variety of sandwiches, salads, some pizza, calzones, etc. So also regarding the hours of operation, Kira wanted to open 11 a.m. or all day during the week, but with a variety of closing hours on Sundays at 1 a.m. and Monday through Thursday at 2 a.m. and if possible Friday and Saturday 4 a.m. I also advise Kira about there are certain restrictions because of the zone. about the alcohol service hours that all the members might have perhaps some certain objections or recommendations regarding the closing hours of alcohol service. We are definitely open to your recommendations and follow all the stipulations and the conditions that you propose to us on the table. And so we plan to work together, and also we comply with all the regulations and rules by the SLA.
Okay, great. Thank you for that. I'm just gonna summarize a couple other things. The location is, it's 218 First Avenue, as you said, between 13th and 14th. It's an application for an establishment of 48 people with 8 tables and 23 seats. Less than a full service kitchen, but serving food during all its operation. No TVs, it's only recorded background music. There are 22 full on premises licenses within 500 feet. This location was previously unlicensed. It was a Blank Street Coffee location. The applicant has never held a license. And maybe if you could just tell us a little bit about your experience. I think you mentioned it, but I'd just like to hear a little bit more about that. There were no commercial 311 complaints in the location because it was a coffee shop. We didn't receive any support or opposition to this item. 27 residents who live within 2 blocks of the location signed a petition in favor. It will operate a pizza and wine bar with hours of 11 a.m., closing by 1 a.m. Sunday through Wednesday, closing by 2 a.m. Thursday, and 4 a.m. Friday and Saturday. Will not use outdoor space for commercial use. Will install soundproofing to ensure there's no vibrations or noise in nearby apartments. Close all front facade doors and windows by 10 p.m. Ambient background recorded music only. Will not apply for an alteration of the coming by CB3. No pub crawls or party buses. No unlimited drink specials. Happy hours ending by 7 p.m. all night. And okay. So was that anything else you'd like to add?
No at all. Pretty much the work experience didn't change with the questionnaire. As Kiera said, she used to work as a bartender at a restaurant pizzeria bar. It's called Table 87, located at 3rd Avenue in Brooklyn since 2016 until 2024. It just so happened that she got the opportunity just to get her own business in a pizzeria that she's very knowledgeable about. And she's here today if you would like to ask her like personal questions about, about her as an owner and why she's here applying for the wine and beer license.
Yeah, I guess Kira, just if you could tell me a little bit more just about your experience. I know you've worked in the industry, but you've never been an owner or held a license, have you?
Yes, she never. Kira, would you like to speak about your experience?
Yes. Hi, all. So just a little bit of background about me is, so like Sandra said, I have worked at a restaurant, pizzeria, also / bar called Table 87. I worked there like about 8 to 10 years, and I decided to start my own pizzeria, and I don't have previous experience opening a license. So I would like to do so, but also being respectful towards the community and the guidelines, and making sure that we just follow the community guidelines. And I'm just looking to make sure that everything goes well.
Okay, thank you for that. I think we do have a hand raised. It's okay. We have Laura Sewell from the public. I don't have anyone here in person, so we do have some people on Zoom though. Laura, go ahead.
Hi, Kira. I'm Laura from the East Village Community Coalition. I think we just met on Instagram on the Pigeon. So welcome the enterprise to the neighborhood. I think my only, it's a beer and wine. It is previously licensed. Before it was was briefly the coffee shop, but before that it was a GNC and other just retail stores for a long time. So the fact that it's a beer and wine, and you've run you bartended at a very nice place in Brooklyn, having you know, a young person want to open their own business, it's a Oven Slice has only got a couple other locations. It's not like a big chain. I mean, this is in many ways a business we would welcome on that corner. I just am concerned about the hours being the corner that it is. The 14th Street between A and B has had a long history of problems because it's the border of community boards, council districts, police precincts, and it's definitely it's a handful. So I know there are bars open till 4 a.m., like a block away from you, but there aren't that many businesses that are. So I would that the 4 a.m. is definitely a concern, especially without security. And I noticed on your application, you check the box for security, but you say you're not having any because it shouldn't be necessary, and it shouldn't. You're correct. But I just want to make sure that gets fixed too, that so you're not committing to having security if you don't intend to have it. So it's really just the hours, especially when you're new and fresh to this neighborhood. It's a lot. So that's it. Other than that, welcome and thank you.
Thank you, Laura.
Thank you, Laura. Thank you for addressing your concern. Like I said before, I would like to just be respectful towards the community and, you know, ultimately just looking for it to be like very casual for people to enjoy like a good slice of pizza and maybe have a beer or a wine. But yeah, I'm just looking for it to be very casual. But I do appreciate your concern. And if the community is not comfortable with it, I would be open to adjusting it and perhaps closing a little bit earlier. I don't know, Sandra, if you want to say something.
No, like I said to Kara, we're definitely open to your restriction of alcohol service hours, but definitely we wanted to open just bring it to the table and present it to all of you and hear all your comments and concerns about it.
Okay, so I don't have serious concerns necessarily about your business. I think it's a pizza shop, beer and wine.
Right.
What I am, and I'm not going to use the word concern, but usually what we try to do, especially with unlicensed location and someone coming in that doesn't have a lot of experience, we do like to try to start with the hours a little bit earlier, especially in this area. I think as Laura mentioned, 14th Street between First and A, that's been a little bit, and I don't want to call it the Wild West, but it's been a little rough up there for a while, and it seems to be getting a little bit better. But I'm a little hesitant to go quite with this late of hours. Normally, what we would suggest for someone coming with beer and wine in an licensed location, we would say 12 o'clock all night. And especially because it's a pizza shop, it's not a bar.
Right.
They stay open later, but they just stop serving. I think we need. I'm not. I think we need more late night spots for people, right?
Yeah.
There's not enough places in the neighborhood that are gonna, and this is a pizza.
Also,
Yeah.
activity in that area. That area is.
Yeah, pizza starts to slow down. You know, it's like. I don't see it as a party.
No, I mean, it's just like, you know, no, very sketchy, that area. The part of it, like, they're particularly, like, yeah.
It's still a little,
Yeah. You know where this, I mean, no. So I welcome any sort of like.
Yeah,
adding
like-
people to that. Yeah. Or, yeah.
We've already talked about this in previous applications where we can't.
It's
feel like-
really difficult to separate and have them close, stop serving alcohol at 12 and
Yeah.
stay open later. It's an enforcement issue.
Is that an SLA issue or is that an us?
Yep.
Looks like you want them open later, previously unlicensed.
So then you can't vote on the vote that you just voted. So that's against, say, that's against. So that goes out the window. Yeah, it's still against your policies. So don't make policies that immediately, if you're not. So we can change it. Or that. I'm gonna say, I don't think enough of our. To create new safety. That's not how you make places safe.
A pizza shop, I'm, fully in support of the pizza shop. What my concern is too, though, is just given the activity in that area in the neighborhood, a pizza shop where someone's coming in getting a beer, I feel like could add to some of the problems in that area where people can quickly grab a beer there. I know. Yeah. No, we're definitely, I don't think any of us are open to 4 a.m. or.
Oh,
Well, if we stipulate that they stop serving alcohol at 12, they can stay open as a food service business, they can stay open all night. They don't have to close at 4. They can have a 24-hour restaurant. Legally, you can. I mean, I know normally we have discussed this in the past, and there was one specifically on Orchard Street that wanted to stop serving. Yeah, it was a sandwich chain, and they specifically said that their goal was to serve to the people coming out of the bars at 4 a.m. And we denied that specifically because even just serving the sandwiches was adding to the problem in that area. Yeah, so that's a little bit different. Yeah. I mean, this is different, and I do agree that it is on First Avenue, not on one of the. We said the commercial avenues are something we consider. Would you accept if we were to say we are going to approve you for beer and wine service till 12 a.m., but you could stay open after that serving? Is that something you would accept? Alcohol service would have to stop at midnight, but you could serve pizza as late as you want.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, for sure. We could totally do that. I was also gonna say I'd be open to closing a little bit earlier, like 2 in the morning or 3 in the morning if the community doesn't feel comfortable with that, because this is my first experience, like I said before. And I do want to add that since we opened, it's been we've seen like a decrease in the homelessness, because prior to opening there was like a lot of homeless people on that block. And I don't know if you guys have noticed, but there was also like a scaffolding that was recently removed, and I feel like that also has kind of led to a decrease in the homelessness on that block, if that adds anything. So, but I would be open to closing a little bit earlier if that's also, recommended. But for sure, to answer your question of to stop serving alcohol at 12 in the morning would definitely be okay. And continue serving pizza up until like 3. Because I've also been considering about closing.
If I could just mention, I really don't think opening restaurants decreases homelessness. I don't think they find beds because you're open. if there are homeless people there, it'd be great if you would call 311 and ask for services needed for homeless people. If the scaffolding came down, I'm sure that's why people left, because they were using that for shelter. And homeless people have more violence done to them rather than them doing things to other people.
Right. I
Okay.
get it. But there's
So
a homeless person that was there for quite some time right in front of the pizzeria when the construction was taking place. And now they seem to moved, but maybe it was the scaffolding.
okay. So is that something you'd be open to, and I will say we're making a somewhat of an exception, but given that it's on a busy avenue, it's not necessarily in where we have a problem concentration of bars right in that block. So we wouldn't normally be doing this, but I think we're willing to give you, if you were to stop serving beer and wine at midnight, but you could stay open. Basically, we don't have any control over when a food business is open, so you could essentially stay open till, though we would put your hours in here, but if you want to stay open till 2 a.m. during the week, 4 a.m. on the weekend serving pizza, but your alcohol service would stop at midnight, I think we'd be acceptable to that.
Okay, yeah, that works.
So what hours, just because we'll still put them in the stipulation, we'll say alcohol service stops at midnight. What hours would you like them to stay open to serve?
To serve
Now,
pizza?
yeah, to continue serving the pizza or I think if it's just pizza or other food, but
Right.
is that?
Yeah, so
Yeah, but you open 11 a.m. every day, right? That's
Yes.
what you're actually doing so far.
Yes.
11 a.m. all day, and the alcohol service stops at midnight. And you actually can sell the pizza whatever hour you would like to close.
Right. Yeah, so just to say our hours,
But we should say something though. Don't we have to say at least? Okay.
yeah,
Okay, so
yeah.
just what hours were you proposing, or do you think you would stay open until? Is that, I know this is kind of new for you to figure out, but
So it would be from Sunday to Wednesday until 1 in the morning, and then Thursday until 2 in the morning, and Friday and Saturday until 4 in the morning.
that's where you'd say, so alcohol services still stop at midnight and then you serve the pizza till that. Is that the latest you want?
Yes.
Okay. So maybe what we'll say is alcohol service stops at midnight, food all nights, food service will continue after. Food service only will continue after. And then you can set the SLA is only concerned with the hours serving alcohol. You can set whatever hours you want as a restaurant on your own.
Right. Okay.
So 11 a.m. to 12 a.m. service, alcohol service all day. And then the way we're going to phrase it, and you'll see when we put stipulations up, is that hours of operation will be 11 a.m. to 12 a.m. all day, including alcohol service. Food service will continue after midnight. Just
Correct.
leave it at that. Okay. Okay. And I think everything else was pretty clear. So I think we're going to go ahead and put the stipulations up on the screen just for you to take a look at as we go through and make sure everything is what we just discussed. Okay. So it is Kira Guerrero, as public representative of the Oven Slice Pizza located at 218 First Avenue. It will be a beer and wine license. I will operate a pizza and wine bar with less than a full service kitchen, but serving food during all hours of operation. Hours of operation will be 11 a.m. to 12 a.m., including alcohol service. Food service will continue after 12 a.m. So I said all the hours of operation will be all days, 11 a.m. to 12 a.m. for alcohol service. Food service will continue after 12 a.m.
Okay, correct.
The food service will continue after 12. just leave it at that. We won't put a closing hour. Again, and I put this in the resolution, the reason we're doing this is because it is not in a necessarily oversaturated area. We feel that adding a late night food in that location would be beneficial. There, even though it is an unlicensed location, we're approving service till 12 and food service will continue. And it is a very commercial avenue and intersection.
Okay.
Okay. So, and that was more, sorry, that was more for the committee. We'll put that in our resolution, but you'll see the stipulation that will be sent to you. You will not use outdoor space for commercial use. You said you will install soundproofing. It was originally installed. I'm not sure, given it's a pizza shop, you probably won't have any issues, but so maybe, I think we're gonna uncheck that. Is there soundproofing there at all? Do you know?
That is brick, and then there is a foam inside beneath the walls. So I remember when Kara, she was doing like minor renovation in the pizzeria. Like I remember when I took the photo, there were some open walls. There were like some insulation foam beneath the walls.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a brick building. So if you get to see the establishment, it's fully brick, and the slab is very thick.
Okay, so we're gonna leave that unchecked. I'm a little concerned because it was previous. I mean, it was a coffee shop, but I don't think coffee shops tend to be as loud or an issue. But yeah, we're just gonna move on from that. You know what? Actually, are you comfortable if we say we'll install soundproofing if necessary and sound is audible in neighboring apartments?
For sure.
Okay, just because I'm afraid of not doing that. And then you turn on your music and the person upstairs is constantly complaining.
Right.
So, okay. Thank you for working with us on that. That's because sound can be a huge problem, especially when spaces weren't previously used as eating and drinking establishments.
Right.
Okay. You'll have a closed fixed facade with no open doors or windows. You will not have DJs, live music, third-party promoted events. Any event in which a cover fee is charged for scheduled performances. You will play ambient recorded background music only, will not apply for a method of operation change without coming to CB3. Will not participate in pub crawls or party buses, will not have unlimited drink specials. You will have a happy hour that will end by 7 p.m. You will not have wait lines, will have a staff person responsible for ensuring no loitering, noise, or crowds. We'll post these stipulations and residents may contact the owner at the number below, and it's Kira Guerrero, and it's 347-816-0529.
Correct.
Okay. So we're going to go ahead and move to a vote. Stephen Ballinger. Michael Lavario.
Yes.
Clint Smeltzer, yes. Guillermo Zaviglia. And passes. We will be finalizing these stipulations. The office will send them out to you with instructions on signing, notarizing, getting them returned to us. And then good luck.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Okay, we're moving on to our last item. This is number 11, Cafe Sky East Village, 520 East 14th Street. If the applicant is here, please raise your Zoom hand. Hungry now. He said the pizza looked good.
Good evening.
Yes. Hi, Michael.
Hey, Clint.
Okay, and I think Cameron, are you the applicant?
Yes, good evening.
Okay, perfect. Okay. I'm going to just give a quick brief summary here. I'll start out by just saying this is a existing business that is on 14th Street, correct? You haven't actually, wait, let me rephrase that. You haven't opened yet, but currently it's licensed as beer and wine, is it not?
Yes, the prior operator closed down.
Yes.
The prior tenant is no longer in possession, Clint. Has instituted abandonment proceedings is our understanding.
Okay.
So Cafe Duo is no longer a tenant. They're closed.
Yep.
And Cameron, who operates Cafe Sky at 43 Clinton, is here hoping to move forward with a project that would put a second Cafe Sky in this location.
Okay, so this location, it's currently licensed with beer and wine. They are proposing hours of, just looking for, sorry about that. They were proposing hours of 4 p.m. to 12 a.m. all nights, with 4 p.m. to 1 a.m. on Saturday, Friday, and Saturday. So it's 4 p.m. to midnight all nights, closing at 1 a.m. Friday and Saturday. The applicant currently does operate Cafe Sky on Clinton Street. There were no issues or complaints with that location. There are 12 full on-premises licenses within 500 feet. It's a new American restaurant with kitchen open, serving food during hours of operation. They will not use outdoor space for commercial use. It will close all front and rear facade doors and windows at 10 p.m. any night or when amplified sound is playing. Will not have DJs, third promoted events, live music, any event which a cover fee is charged or scheduled performances, and not more than 30 private parties per year. Play ambient recorded background only. Will not apply for a method of operation without coming to CB3. Will not participate in pub crawls or party buses. Will not have unlimited drink specials. Will have a happy hour that will end by 7 p.m. Will not have wood signs. Will have a staff person responsible for ensuring no loitering, noise, or crowd. Will post the stipulations. Residents may contact the owner at any issues. Okay, so that was a just quick overview, cursory summary. It's a fairly simple application. Is there anything else you would like to add or change correct to what I just said?
No, Clint, that's good. I'm sorry. I will add, this is a tiny space. It's
Yes.
220 square feet in size. The bar is, it will have 2 seats at the bar. It's really like a 3-foot bar. There's another 3-foot side to the bar, but there are no stools at it. And because it's sort of butting up against one of the tables. This is not a bar. This is truly a restaurant. I'd say a fairly low impact operation.
Is there any,
I'd also
is
point
there
out,
anyone here from, sorry,
if I
before you
can,
go ahead.
The petitions that were submitted, you know, are really quality signatures. So you'll see there are several pages, but of those, 16 of them are from residents in the building at 520 East 14th. And then in addition to those 16, there are 25 additional signatures from residents on the block. So, you know, he did a lot of work really with the residents that are most impacted, and had a good showing of support. So I wanted to.
Yes, sorry, I forgot to mention that too in the summary of the petition signatures, but yes, you are correct.
I wanted to point that out. We did reach out to the Block Association, didn't receive a response. So I think on that end of things, we've also.
Is there an actual, without looking at the community word list, is there an actual block association on that part of 14th?
I think Laura's organization covers it technically.
Just EVCC. Okay. Yeah.
But
That's,
we did reach out to her just to you know, to make sure she was aware. And so, yeah, that's it. I just wanted to point out that the community outreach was done, that he did well on the block and in the building. And that, you know, it's a tiny little space. So.
yeah, thank you. And we're going to move to the public. I do see that, as you mentioned, Laura Sewell is here. We'll give, with her hand raised, we'll give Laura a chance to speak.
Michael, I don't mean to make you nervous by raising my hand. I just wanted to apologize for not getting back to you.
That's okay.
We know many people in the building, and we have not heard anything negative about this application, and it actually seems like a very good fit for the block and Stuytown and the Extel building. This is a tiny building that sort of stands alone in the middle of the giant Extel experience, just for context. And it does seem like a good fit for the block. So, and the hours are certainly reasonable. That's it. Thanks.
Thank you, Laura. Thank you for speaking.
Okay, thank you, Laura, as well. Yeah, committee, anyone have any questions? This is a pretty simple, straightforward application. Okay, that being said, we're going to just go ahead and put the stipulations up that we'll be voting on. And I will read through them. It is I, Cameron Bean, is a qualified representative of Cafe Sky East Village LLC, located at 520 East 14th Street. Will operate a full liquor license with a full-service restaurant, specifically a new American restaurant with kitchen and open serving food during all hours of operation. The hours of operation will be Monday through Thursday, 4 p.m. to 12 a.m., Friday, 4 p.m. to 1 a.m., Saturday, 1 p.m. to 1 a.m., and Sunday, 1 p.m. to 1 a.m. Did you have 1 p.m. on 1 a.m. on Sunday, or was that 12?
1 p.m.
1 p.m. But closing hours, was it 1 a.m. or was it 12?
Sorry. Yeah, my apologies. 12 a.m.
12 a.m. on Sunday. Okay. Gotcha. That's what I thought. So, and then I will not use outdoor space for commercial use. You obviously don't need dorm or security. It was an existing space, so I'm gonna say, is there soundproofing installed? Have you checked that out at all yet?
We're not, we don't know, to be frank.
Okay.
You know, we've been successful in the space we're in without having to install this soundproofing, and given this operation, we don't think it's necessary.
Would you agree just to say, though, we'll install soundproofing if necessary and sound is heard in neighbors' apartments?
That's Cameron, that's a decision for you.
Yeah, just so I understand, we would basically, if there's complaints or if it comes
Just if the music or noise from your customers are being heard in the apartments above, you would install it, but otherwise you're fine.
Yes, we can agree to that.
Okay, that's just kind of something standard. I'm not thinking you're probably going to have a problem, but we have had situations before where we didn't put this and it ended up being a problem. We had no recourse. So thank you for agreeing to that. Next, we move on to, it will close any front or rear facade doors and windows at 10 p.m. or when any amplified sound is playing. Will not have DJs, live music, third-party promoted events, any event which a cover fee is charged or scheduled performances, not more than 30 private parties per year. Ambient recorded background music only. Will not apply for an alteration without coming to CB3. Will not participate in pub crawls or party buses. Will not have unlimited drink specials, including boozy brunches. Will have happy hours ending by 7 p.m. Will not have wait lines. Will have a staff person responsible for ensuring no loitering, noise, or crowds. Will post the stipulations by the liquor license, and residents may contact the owner manager at the number below, Cameron Bean, and it's 678-699-4293.
That is correct.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and move to a vote. Stephen Ballinger.
Yes.
Michael Lavario. Clint Smeltzer, yes. Guillermo Zaviglia. And passes. The office will be sending you out the stipulation with instructions on signing and returning. And good luck.
Thank you all. Have a nice evening.
Thank you all. Enjoy your evening.
Yeah. I know that we're done. Okay, so yeah, so that is our last item for tonight. Just make sure, no, leave it open. Is there anyone still on there? Just okay. Just making sure, yeah, Mac, they were on for earlier items. I was just making sure there was no one on there, that we didn't forget anyone, because we did that once in the past. So, the one thing that we do, there's one small kind of housekeeping item we need to address. At our policy meeting last week, we did vote on our changes to our guidance, specifically to our administrative approval guidance. That will be voted on at the full board in September. There is one small modification or actually it's an amendment or addition I need to add. It's something that we had talked about during our discussions working up to it, but in the final version, I mistakenly forgot to include, and I will pass this around. So the item that is added that we did not vote on yet, it's on the administrative approval policy guidelines. It's the second paragraph, which is the second paragraph that begins with the administrative approval process is meant for businesses that intend to operate with a low impact method of operation. This process should not be used as a first step in the process of eventually applying for a method of operation that has greater impact on the community. That was something we discussed. It was something that I left out in the draft last week. How does that sound? And I'm happy if we can wordsmith that or make it more. One suggestion that Susan had earlier was to say the administrative approval process instead of saying is meant for, to take out meant and just say the administrative approval process is for businesses. 10. So that I think that makes it much more clear. I'm fine with that. Anyone else? Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes it more. No, and that, yeah. But is this clear? Or is there something that would, the wording that would make it more clear to anyone or applicants if we're thinking from their standpoint? Yes, I agree. Well, but the low impact is described in the requirements below in the chart on the back. That described the low impact business. So yeah. Oh, sorry. You weren't here at the meeting last week when we voted on it. So this is probably your first time seeing most of it, but yeah, so that describes what we consider a low impact business. That is just the clause that we wanted to put in there just so that we aren't getting people coming in expecting with the anticipation of a different kind of operation. We know that happens and that they're welcome to come back to us. In this case, after a 2-year period. But but everything else was voted on last week. That is the only thing that is new that I'm proposing as an amendment to this guideline from last week. Is everyone okay with that? With that exception, I'm taking out meant. Is everything else clear? Okay. So I guess, yeah, because we did vote last week. So this is a vote this is technically it's a friendly amendment. Is anyone opposed to the friendly amendment of adding that the document we voted on last week? And again, this will then be submitted in a much more coherent form that will go to the full board in September. Okay. So I heard no objections, so that passes. One other thing I'd like to say, I guess there's not really anyone else on from the public to hear this, but we've started getting the first challenges to our 10 p.m. requirement for closing. It was at the SLA this past week.
For
Outdoor space. So this was not ours. This was a CB2 application. The applicant wanted midnight. CB2 was standing firm on the 10 p.m., which seems to be consistent across the board. CB1, 2, and 3 are all holding firm on 10 o'clock. It went to the SLA. It was a longstanding business. It was actually Broome Street Bar. I don't know if any of you are familiar with it. It's been there for years. They did not have a sidewalk cafe prior to COVID. They want to continue having a sidewalk cafe now since COVID, but it wasn't zoned for it before. Yes. City of Yes has now allowed them to have it. But they were arguing, their argument was because they were a longstanding business, no problems, they should be able to then have an extended hours. The SLA pushed back pretty critically. The lawyer was very adamant in his opposition. He said, when the SLA said, we're proposing this, he said, that's not how negotiation works. These hours are to be negotiated. The SLA really didn't buy that idea. In the end, they gave them 10:30. They gave them a half hour. The applicant was not happy with that at all, clearly. I think the only reason they gave them the 10:30 was because they were a longstanding business. I think otherwise and there was a little bit of back and forth of the 3 of them. They were, I think, ready to hold them at 10. They did in the end relent and give them 10:30. So what I'm saying is that is kind of giving us an indication of how the SLA is going to start the outdoor applications if they are not signing our stipulations for 10 p.m. It does appear the SLA is generally going to support requirements. So just wanted to pass it along to anyone here listening.
All these businesses that are willing to respect programs. And they have reason closing. I do the SLA. I would say situation. One of the conditions that you be prepared for 11. The yes. It's good well. They gotta share.
Yeah.
That was a waste of time. To say, and the lawyers said, that's not.
Ms. Frank?
Let's not do that. I think that. I was being very, very. I think that, the chick was waiting for very time.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if you guys like to do what we did. That would not. People should.
Yeah.
Yes. Person the question, like, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but I think a lot of times, I think applicants do come in expecting a negotiation. They're asking, they want something in the middle, but they ask for the most extreme. You're right. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. One thing to another.
I think we should get that and I was thinking then they let him go out back.
Yeah. Well, there was no point.
I see. And then I think it's now.
I was going to ask that after we voted. And if they withdraw, they can't go back without coming to us. If we deny them, then they could continue going to the SLA. So they send an email withdrawing then. But they did they submitted an email for all that. So yeah. Okay. So they'd have to come back to us since they've withdrawn. They'd have to come back to us before they go to the SLA. They withdrew. And then the SLA would send them back to us. So possibly. Yeah. Okay. So I just wanted to mention everyone that was an indication, that was something that we saw, that was, as far as I know, I think that may have been the first, and I think they may have even mentioned it at the state. It's the first one that they've heard. And we're just, yeah.
So one thing where we have a business on the same time that we've been thinking about that baby because business stipulate this to close it. They operate past midnight. Their business is open past midnight. This came this for operating a license and still operating because the fees are so low. They want to pay to operate. And so, you know, I found out they were.
It was. No.
No.
At the other end, other end.
So Lord Paul, and they said there's what I actually went over I said, you can't dialogue, this is before.
It's informational, but
Staff who say this is about education. And the DOT was here last week and was going to fight some us and then said, oh, you have to do this with your name. So this is a big lot. I don't know. I think it's a lot.
okay. Well, okay. Well, we're gonna make I'm making a motion to adjourn. We'll do a roll call vote. Second. Stephen Ballinger, Michael Lavario, Meltzer, yes. Guillermo Zabiglia.